And from what this nigga Shane be saying, say you can smoke, you can say nigga, you can curse every 8 minutes, but you gotta be sensitive to topics that's in the algorithm, like fucking whatever debate. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know what I mean? Use a different word, like
Slumber.
now everybody wanna stop niggas from cursing on their shit.
It's just a form of fucking communism. So, you know that they give themselves up to it. Yeah, today I'm going in on all the wannabes. So there was a guy, and his name was King Magic Man. Huh? He was a magic man, and the magic man, they sent the message back from Africa, and they was like, "Nah, son, we don't mess with something like that." After they took his money, and I would be hard pressed to say that I feel some type of way. I don't care. I wish they'd take more money like that. And maybe these niggas will stop going to Club Shay Shay after they get robbed and booked. Word. A lot of guys is getting they just do now. What was the other boy's name? What's his name? Rashad guy. He was talking crazy. They sent him to jail.
Rashad Jamal.
Yeah, they sent him to jail. He was talking about a lot of ORISHA business. Sent him right to jail. To the pokey. To the pokey you go. Talking crazy. That's the problem is that people be talking about things that they have no, this information age got niggas thinking they know something. When a nigga tell me he do his research, I be like, what research? On the internet? Next stop. He ain't been to a library since public school, you know what I mean? Wouldn't know what to do in the library. Talking about some research, you're killing me.
That's crazy. You know, vacation anyway going up.
We shadow banned, son. I've come to accept that. So that the algorithm understands truth. The artificial intelligence understands it. It's good though. But we back to a glass of water and a candle. You know what I'm saying? That's the theme already. Glass of water and a candle. All the tarot cards and all the Bible owls and all the Club Shay Shay members, all of that will dissipate when they start locking down these little things. And all that stuff that them chicks be on there doing, they don't know what they're doing. Nobody taught them how to do that. They read that in a book. They read some little insert some little book that had some spells in it, and they decided they're gonna tell you, oh, and you put this, mix this with that.
A pamphlet, nigga, not
Yeah.
a book. Pamphlet.
A pamphlet, right? A brochure. They just read a brochure, then now they know something. And so, down with the people who can't pronounce the words in the tradition, but they're experts. Like the little botanica girl. She gonna tell me she 5. Why she? What she? What are you doing? Reading on what are you doing? The house is a mess. The kids are going crazy. Right?
Yo, I gotta figure it out, my nigga. We dealing with the club era. So these motherfuckers come in their botanica and they're like, hey, can I get an ocean on ice?
Yeah.
I heard that Obertal is really good. I'll try one of those.
Yeah, like the weirdo here just told me I'm his favorite transgender. He's about to get out of here.
I'll have a Sean go.
Get him out of here. Move him. Anybody want to talk about sexuality this late and you ain't got a girlfriend?
Put him in a bathroom.
Got him. Send him to the goo. Yeah, you gotta read it. The info's inside. Don't get it twisted. It's a small book, but it's a whole lot of literature in there. We enjoy the trolls tonight. We welcome them. I'm gonna just keep sending them to the goo. Feel me?
You treasure trolls.
Yeah, if the topic, because ain't no topic on it, it's just me going live. So if you don't fuck with Omidina, don't get your stupid that go away. And now he want to take the message back. Don't take the message back. You in the goo. You getting out of here. Boom. Get him out of here. 24 hours. Kick rocks. Goldilocks. Kick rocks. Goldilocks. 86,000 seconds.
That nigga Tommy's looking when you said, block him. Block him.
So, here's some information for your scholars. I've said this before. I want y'all to go back and say this on them other platforms to all of them smart guys. They're so smart, right? So they be like, so the Black Magic kid just had some more on there. He didn't tell you that hoodoo come from the Moors. You know, these niggas, man. So we reject that thesis. We reject your, you know what I mean? That's your deposit. We don't want to hear that. But I want you guys to ask the guys that are still talking about the pyramids, right? Those guys, I want you to ask them a real simple question. It goes like this. If Egypt and Sumeria or Sumer are the first civilizations, first question is, do they have coins for currency, metal coins? If the answer, which is obviously yes, then they cannot possibly be the first civilizations, because the first non-edible currency in the world is a cowrie shell. So, by the time you get to metallurgy and you get to making some coins, you was trading cowrie shells. So where are those people at? Because they ain't got no cowrie shells on the walls of Sumer. What's the content? Well, see, the black people, the early black people that converted, they was all Africa, right? And so the only pictures they see of Africa is niggas wearing all of this Muslim garb, right? And so they was like, oh, we don't want to look like no conquistadors. That's some Spanish Catholic stuff. So they rejected it. Now, which goes into the whole conversation about the Moors. So if you believe in the Moors so much, that's how the Moors dress. And the Moors are imitating the kingdoms of Great Benin, right? So if you know about the Great Benin Empire, you understand that they had armor, breastplates, and collars, and helmets, right? And so the conquistadors, who are basically the Portuguese, the first ones, they're all imitating the royal houses of Benin. So when you see the puffy sleeves and all that, the object was to make the person that was being initiated look like someone who's been in charge, right? And it is important that it's a psychological effect in the process to liberate you from slave. Exactly, dress for success. And so my mother's godfather was responsible for changing the clothes, and he regretted it. In his return back to the States, he said that he regretted it because he was not fully adept in the understandings of all of the nuances that come with the motifs and the aesthetics. And so they rejected it, and so became this, I guess, a sect. It's its own sect now of Orisha practitioners that they denied the quote unquote conquistador clothes, and they went for the boobas and the labas. Little did they know that the boobas and the labas are all an affect of the Fulani influence that came with an Islamic tone that everybody should cover up. And so this is how they got to be wearing all them clothes in West Africa. Before that, the men wasn't wearing no shirt, they just had on some chocotoes, and the women, or lapa, and the women had on a lapa up to their breast, and that's how that was. The Muslims, or the Islamic influence, came in and made them cover up, right? And so they be putting on the abeti aja, and it doesn't have the same efficacy. So when you understand that when your government when your government gets overthrown, the uniform becomes useless now, right? And you now have a new aesthetic of power, right? So you're influenced by the people who necessarily come through and press their influence on you, right? So the clothes got changed, and the real elders regretted it. The fact that they continue to do that stupid shit is just beyond me. It's beyond me. You know what I'm saying? I give thanks that I necessarily didn't have to go through that aesthetic. I went to Cuba and made ocha. Now, I had me some conquistador clothes and shit. They was fly. You know what I mean? I felt, even though I couldn't even see myself, I felt exalted in that whole process. And so it's important that you go through the process. It's important so that you understand that this process is there to divorce you of the idea of being a slave and having your own sense of royalty or regalness, right? So that we went from, like everybody wasn't a king and queen in Africa, but through this new system, everyone is allowed to be. The Club Shay Shay that don't do that. You don't get a crown, right? And so part of the process of the Cariocha is the elegance of the what they call the gala outfit. Feel me? The Babalaos of Lokun is not Orisha. It's Egu. And so they don't have any. They really shouldn't be giving that Olokun to Aleos, because those Ikin that they give with those Orishas have to go with certain Orishas. And so if you don't have Orisha, then or what you got it for. But the Babalawo don't care because he's a grifter. He's traditionally nomadic, right? A Rumila don't have a crown, he has no kingdom. Tell them the Babalawos to put that in their pipe and smoke it. There is no kingdom, there is no palace of a Rumila. Good God. Goodness gracious. Well, see, the thing is, the Babalawo became possessive in certain things because there wasn't much for him to do. And so he began to monopolize certain things. So the Osun, if an Eolosha or Babalosha doesn't necessarily have the Ashe to do that. Someone that would be an Oriente. And so what would happen is, as a Eolosha or Babalosha, it is really custom for them to have an Oriente make the warriors for the Aleo. If the godparent isn't an Oriente, then yeah, he can do that. But Osun is not the exclusive right. Now there is something that we allow them to include in the load as a part of their Ashe, but they don't have a monopoly on the Orisha Osun. In fact, Osun is a mechanism. There is a deity, but the actual receptacle is a mechanism that is used for all of us to have the ability to find our way back to our bodies when we sleep, because Osun does not sleep. And so it is a guardian to watch over our body, to ensure that no other entity enters our body in our absence. Okay? And so the Osun is there as a watch, as a familiar, to as a sentry to guard you in your absence, your consciousness, in the absence of your consciousness. And so no, the Babalawo doesn't have exclusive rights to it. In fact, I don't know what the Babalawos be talking about, because the only story that really Osun ever really exists in is in the story of Obatala. And then the Osun of the height goes with Oduduwa, ain't got nothing to do with Orumila. So I don't know what they're talking about. So they gotta rid of me that, because there's an Osun that comes with Babaluaye as well, that's associated with a dog. That's called Adu Kake. So I don't know how the Babalawo became exclusive to that one. Like I said, the Osun of your height is relegated to the receiving of Oduduwa. Yep. Yeah, the Babalawos, they're not the bishops of our tradition. In fact, they're the betrayers of our tradition. They actually betrayed us. It's the Babalawos that sold us into slavery, in cahoots with the Islamic tribes in their pursuit to take over the royal Yoruba houses. It was a coup d'etat that existed, and this is why the Babalawos didn't show up here. Well, because they don't have a crown, and so they don't have anybody to actually rule, and so they're mercenaries. And so when they talk about the army of God for all they need fire, but they don't really assist you through problems. They don't provide any mutual aid. And so they're mercenaries in that regard. So as a yes, there is a burden in being a ruler, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to rule people. It could be just to rule your affairs and rule your life. And so Kadiocha doesn't uh, require you to reproduce. Not every Orisha has to give birth with their Ocha. And so then you don't have to be the king of anybody. You could be the king of your own affairs. So they say a lot of things that should just lead to a dead end, and you'd be like, oh, okay. And I'm not against E5. That's the crazy part. I think E5 is a wonderful system. I just don't like the people and what they've done with it. You go to the Thumbos in Miami now, and the little boy is a Babalao. He got the Biggie Day on, he got sunglasses on, and you think he's a wise guy. You're looking at this little kid like, what are you talking about? You can't even piss straight. Right? You don't even know how to take care of yourself hygienically, but you sitting around here acting like you somebody. Like, nah, just because they made a rule, you know what I'm saying? May take five to you because nobody makes a Rumila. Rumila has no children. There's no Omo Rumila. There's no Omo Rumila. Right? That's how I don't understand how that's an Iyat and E5. Like, what? Like, that don't make no sense. Iyanifa, the mother of Ifa. Because Babalawo means father of the mystery. She don't say Iyalawo. I don't know how that worked out, but whatever. And nothing that the Babalawo gives is born. It's fabricated. It's a magical spell. It's not, it has no history, it has no lineage. It's not born from anybody. Outside of the Ifa, all the things that they give you were not truly born from it. They're fabricated. It's a list of things that they put together and some prayers, and then they make this thing be activated, but it wasn't born into the world like Orisha were. Yeah, okay, so to answer your question and go, of course they're going to get upset because the idea is that because you can't do something makes you less than, as opposed to keeping you safe from something. Right? So that Odu is feminine. And feminine things tend to be possessive and they tend to be very outlandish. And so Odu does not, when she's copulating, does not want the presence of another woman in the midst of her, in her moments of intimacy. And so a woman being present for certain things is really unheard of because that part of God that they interact with is feminine. And that feminine energy is very, very jealous. So it would be against the, you know what I mean? Absolutely. Start off in the spiritism. That's the kindergarten. Now, should they be giving the warriors when they give out Awofaka or Ikofa? They are required to give an eshu. Now they're gonna say no. Some of them gonna say, "Oh, in my house we don't have to give you an eshu." But who was the witness? Right?
That's the blicky.
So what happens is when they give out code 5 or Awofaka, they're supposed to give out SU, right? Now they can give just SU, because SU can come by himself. Ogun, Ochosi, and Osun must come together because they are inseparable. So there's been some situations where I know some people who have gotten their hand in E5 and they did not get their warriors. Right? My first set of warriors came from E5. Came from Babylon, very famous Babylon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't accept iconography from another system. If you're gonna start over, then you gotta start from the ground up. It's like anything. Like I don't know what they put in that. I don't know what intention they put on it. I'm not fitting to bother with it. If you making that change, then I would advise you to take those stuff that take them to a tree or to a river and leave them there, give them some rum and tell them, oh, thank you very much, but I'm moving on. But I'm not touching nobody's Isheshe nothing and converting it into no LUCUMI. That ain't happening. You're going to have to start from the ground up, and you're going to have to, renounce all of the other stuff that you did, because if it's not working for you, then I'm not even sure if it's real. Straight like that. So, nah, I don't take in orphans like that. And I don't believe in cross-pollination. When you go to Europe, your iPhone don't plug into their wall. And so the same thing is applicable here. Like, your shit just don't plug in here like that. There's a lot of factors that one has to put into place, like environment, ley lines, magnetism, and all that. So where your stuff was born is very important. If it's not born in the same hemisphere, how do you necessarily change it and bring it over here? Because right now, it's probably daytime in Africa right now. So I'm not really a fan of cross-pollination. I don't believe in it. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. This is not what the elders, this is not the way that they paid for us. And the reality is that why would you go back to get something from some people that sold you here? Like, that don't make no sense. You gonna ask the dude who put the handcuffs on you to give you the key? Like, nah, that don't make no sense. They got their own struggle. They cool, but I don't have the same struggles, and they don't have the same struggles as me. And so I don't live over there. And if I didn't have a television or an iPad or any of these things, I wouldn't even know what they was going through. It wouldn't even matter. So I don't make it my business to trouble myself with their issues, because I ain't fit to be Rambo and going over there and liberating them. And they damn sure ain't never thought about doing that to us. So, hello?
I just wanted to show you.
I'm on live right now. All right. So, yeah, I don't see the necessity. I'm just saying, certain things are not compatible with certain things. You know what I mean? Sometimes you put the Bluetooth on and it don't connect to your little system because it's just not compatible. You feel me? And so, yeah, Alegba is more up to speed with Ibeji than Eshu would. Now, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm over the Lekes. If you ever saw me, I probably have one Eleke at once in every blue moon. I might have an Eleke on, right? Because I have Ocha, so I don't really require me putting them on. So for Santeros to put them on is an indication of the amount of things that they have acquired in certain knowledge. So you would wear your Babalu Ide when you go into a what they call a kacha. You would wear it if they're giving out Babalu. If it's a festival for Babalu. And there's an indication to the other priests that I am licensed to walk in that realm. If I was to wear an Eleki of an obscure Orisha, it's an indication to other priests that I've acquired those type of Orisha, that I've had those type of what they call powers. For the Aleo, I necessarily stopped wearing the Lakers a long time when the gangster thing became a big problem. Because I was not fitting to be answering no questions about some religious bees, just some knuckle draggers telling me about some gang. I wasn't fitting to do that. So I kind of stopped wearing them because of that. I don't think it has anything to do with respect or anything. They are a mechanism that you wear so that you know when something has come at you, that if it breaks, that it kind of eases the hit and gives you an indication it's time to go safe up. Right? I mean, I ain't gonna turn this today's episode into a bash Club Shay Shay, but I just don't bother with it. You know what I mean? Like, and because I grew up, yeah, it's very fake. Because I grew up in this, I see the dynamics of things, and I see when they've tried to create something to address an issue. And originally, so I'm going to tell you this. So what happened was there was an influx of African Americans, especially very quote unquote upper middle class African Americans who culturally had a prejudice against Spanish speaking people. They don't like dealing with them. And because these people are of PhDs and their own brownstones, they don't really like dealing with no ghetto Cubans. Right? It'd be like the equivalent of, what's his name, Cornel West trying to get a conversation out of ODB. It's just not going to happen. You feel me? Well, Shay Shay doesn't have the mechanism to do that because it wasn't created for that. Feel me? And so you have to understand that the idea of strangers, of Aleo in Yoruba land, in that context of them giving Adosu to someone who is a stranger and a transient who's not going to be there, that they can't watch. This is all new. It becomes marketable when the people in the shrine are disenfranchised due to their beliefs in their own country. So the Islamic and Christian peer pressure makes it so that they don't get there's not a lot of food for them. So what happens is you get an influx of Babalaos who've usually been trained outside of the country in places like London or New York or LA. They become scholastically, inclined. And they find a way to justify their customs in the presence of their colonial um, sponsors. And they begin to write these books, and the books become very pragmatic in the concept of Ifa because they're trying to make it take away the spookisms of it. In the interim, the Orishas still be wanting people. So what happens is they game the people in the shrines. They be like, look, we're gonna bring 10 people here, and we're gonna make Yemonjada all 10 of them. You're gonna put on a show. All the food that we kill is gonna go to y'all, right? And what happens is it becomes the thing where you're not going to eat if you don't participate in the scammer-lammer. And the same thing happens in Cuba. You know, you show up and they're looking at you and they're like, "Why you here?" And you're like, "I got some dollars." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And they talk to the old people in the back and they be like, "Yo, man, just shut up because you need that little, you know what I mean? You need a new TV, right? So you shut up and let us do what we're going to do. And we ain't going to give them all the stuff, but we're going to give them enough just to make feel good and he's going to get out of here." Well, not even that. Well, no, you know, so I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, they got that goon goon, they got egg bay and all that, but that shit don't address their problems because, again, the issue is you start to give something to people who it never was meant for. And so the difference between Lukumi and the difference between Isheshe is that Isheshe was invented for that. The word was invented as a means for them to try to keep track of all of the Americans who had come into Africa making ocha in all these different locales, right? And so you had people. Some people went go to Ode Remu, some people go to Oshogbo, some people go to Oyo, some people go to Ota, some people go to Ata, some people go to Ijebu. Wherever they go, the system is not the same. And so when the people come back and they're like, "Oh, I went to Nigeria and I became a priestess of Eshu," and they're like, "Oh yes, how was your experience?" And then they start to cross-examine each other's experience, and they have very few common denominators. And so there was no way for the people that made this Isheshe, because what happened was, when they came back with the Isheshe, they thought that they was just going to come into the Lukumi houses and rule. Because they went into these places to make these ochas because they thought they were going to come back and be chiefs and be able to be subjugating the people over here. Oh, well, I got my Orisha from Nigeria. I was talking to the Alafin of Oyo, and it's like, so what? He ain't my fucking Alafin. What are you talking about? He's not my king. He does not have any consequences on any of the affairs that are going on over here. So why am I talking about he's Kabir? No, he's not. To y'all he is. To me, he's not, because I don't got no land over there. I'm a kid from Gates Avenue, from 715 Gates Avenue, whose mama had Yemonja since 1988. Okay, hold on, just take it easy, They don't all caps, it was going crazy. So what happens after a couple years of this happening, these Babalawos, because they have access to each other because of things like social media now, like Facebook and the internet, they start to gather together and they come up with, so now they can say whatever they want to, but I'm going to tell you the etymological properties of the word Isheshe. The word Sheshe is a derivative of another word that we use in Lukumi called Shishe, which means work, Oshishe. Right? They go, Oshishe Wama. Work, good work, hard work brings character. Right? So, etymologically, when they put the letter I in front of something in Yoruba, right? And When they put the letter I, it becomes E. Ibaye, Irumale, Imojuba, or Ijuba. So when they put the E in front of it, it gives it the connotation of something that is clerical or religious. So it's holy work, Isheshe, right? And so they all become under, because before that, anybody that had traditional Ocho was just known as that. Oh, he has traditional, period. That's it. And they would ask you, what town did you go to? Oh, I went to Oshogbo. Oh, okay. And a lot of the people that went over there at the time went by way of Lloyd Weaver, because he was the liaison for all the English-speaking people to go to the bush and get some Ocho over there. For 30 years he was that. So, I don't get my sources from hearsay. I got it straight from one of the people who was there when they stole the original Ogun Leke out of the shrine in Ibadan, and he was going from house to house with guns, chasing down the poachers looking for the original statue before it made its way out of Yoruba land. What are we talking about? So when they hear these jokers and they got something to say and they don't like what I'm saying, I'm going to keep it real, because why are we, as black people, since when did we start to live off lies? This is why we don't need a masquerade. Who is under there? What are you talking about? And how good is your prophecy? Because if you're just going to come down with some fucking masquerade and you're going and you dancing around and you doing all that, what then? Because that shit can't stop the Muslims from shooting them over there right now. They have a problem that every time they bring that stuff out in certain towns, that the Muslims be pulling out their guns and shooting at their goons. So what purpose do I need that for? Just to have what? The aesthetics of feeling like we're back in Africa, that we're free? Black people are so beaten and torn that you don't know what you need. You don't know what you want. So this need for everybody to necessarily try to convert everybody into Orisha tradition is bullshit. And this idea that you need, we're going to sell you your head. That shit is the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. You're going to sell me my head? If you don't get out of here, you don't get out of here. We have a saying, if your head don't sell you, no one can buy you. So, I'm going to come to your house and you're just going to make some little effigy, and now my head, you get out of here. They're talking about Ori. And they be talking stupid. And they love that, consult with your Ori. Like, what? Some of you can't figure out whether or not you want to eat toast or bagels for the day. What are you talking about your Ori? Shut up. Get out of here. Get out of here. Where are you going? What are you talking about? Get out of here. What? It doesn't make sense. So the most important part of all of that, through the whole transatlantic slavery in Cuba and all, they just forgot to have Ori. Oh, we forgot. Oh, I forgot my head. Oh shit. What? For them to maintain the amount of songs and rituals and nuances and motifs that they maintained in Cuba, you tell me they just forgot, just the same way that they forgot that women were babalaos for like hundreds of years. They just forgot. Like, yo, come on, man. You gotta do better, man. It's good. And so, yeah, but it has no effect here. Nobody over here is a king. Nobody over here is no chief. You can't get me out of a speeding ticket. No. You can't help me get more benefits on my EBT card. No, you're not my chief. Okay? We're not gonna do that. And the clothes, to each his own, man. If that makes you feel better, man, who am I to necessarily judge? But it just looks stupid to me, man. And you know what? Nobody could tell me that I'm colonized. I went to a freedom school. Yeah, whatever you see that's going on now, I want you to understand that real ORISHA is not around anymore. Right? As my godfather in Cuba said, la religion perdió. The religion is lost. You heard? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it a stack. I've been blessed that, you know what? I know what to do. I got good eggons, and I had good teachers, and I've been around long enough to know what the fake shit is. Feel me? Unfortunately, some of y'all will never really even see that shit in its greatest function. And it's sad. You'll never get to actually see that shit. You'll never get to see a real tambor. You'll never, and some of you may never ever get to see real ORISHA mount somebody. And it's unfortunate. It's a beautiful tradition. It's perfect in every way. It's perfect in every way, and everybody that be like from a stunting, like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. And so, I've had the luxury, it's a gift and a curse to actually have seen some of it, the last real bits of it, and to see what it's come to today is heartbreaking. Today I watched on the Black Magic show. He had the Moor up there, and the Moor was talking about, and the Moors were the reason why hoodoo and Santeria. It's not an African religion; it's a Moorish religion. Like, yo, I just be wanting to not even be black sometimes. Like, I'd be so embarrassed about the audacity of niggas. Like, or slaves, because that niggas done did great things in the world. Niggas have invented things. They have, toiled in the sun and built this country. Slaves are the ones that destroy it. The David I got used, all of the Cuban dudes that's on there, they got a video, they're like, oh, Obata with this, they are all blasphemous.
Power off.
Power off. Power off. You heard? Real talk. Because y'all it's unfortunate, man. Like, y'all not gonna really get to see that shit in this real motherfucking, in this real motion. You know what I mean? I got a goddaughter that I scratched who's running around selling oracle cards, selling Congo tarot cards. They round, they look like coasters. Like, and she literally has the audacity to tell me that she know what she talking about. And the crazy part is, the girl ain't never stuck around, ain't never ever seen me really possessed before. And she talking about she knows something. I'm just like, word. And then she hook up with these other bozos, and they be co-signing her. And the chick got a bunch of kids, and they running around, and they going crazy. Real talk. Let me go in, like the Botanica girl. She on the thing reading somebody and being belligerent, talking about, because you really want to see him. And, feel me? Nah, it's crazy, man. Then you be having all of these girls on TikTok, and they all talking, and none of them are getting any sex. They have no sex life. They all got toys in the crib. There's nobody to hug them and kiss them on the neck and tell them that they're beautiful and that they're nice, and then they are just out here spreading evil.
Evil.
Evil. Feel me? Like that's you can't like what are you trying to tell me? It's all messed up, man. It's all messed up. And if y'all continue to support these people, and don't say y'all don't, because I look under these people thing and it be 1 million followers. I'm like, and it ain't even like these people are even like got some kind of cool about them. They be like the bozos or the nerds of Arkham Asylum. Like, where you get him from? Yo, the dude King Brujo, he is a bozo. Right? What's good, knowledge? We on for tomorrow, baby. The dude was up there talking cash moolah. Like, what is he talking about? You don't know this. You just got here. You just got here. Do you know how to open a coconut? Can you say the Orisha's names correctly? The next time I hear somebody talk about Obatala, Nana Baruku, what? Shango, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. And see, he got stung. Now he not making no videos until he gonna come up with some little idea. He gonna try to tell you, oh no, because the Orishas and if I said, like, come on, son. I can't. I be like, yo, it makes my skin crawl. Now you know what? It sounds good to it's like the sirens. Pennies, nickels, quarters, dimes comes to us while there's still time. They be like, they be sounding real good to them. They be like, oh yeah, let me go and take his class. He knows all about the Orisha. He was on the internet all night.
He got followers.
I got a ganga.
He got followers. That's
Yes, I do 5 nights in Diddy's with your mother. We're gonna get him out of here. Get him out of here. If you thinking about Sean Combs, it's not something wrong with me, something wrong with you. It's probably a bot. I don't care. If you like, if that is the sum of your life, that you worrying about what Sean Combs is doing, then you should go down there and just turn yourself in with him. Be like, he didn't know what he was doing. It was me. I'm the diddler. Then you go down there and tell him that. You care so much about that bullshit. See, the problem is, you wouldn't even be able to see your prophets. What are the consequences of false teachers? Well, let me tell you. I've known some bad santeros that have died on the toilet bowl. Straight like that. Died on the toilet bowl. You don't want to die on the toilet bowl. Tony Ferguson. Yeah. Your mother should have aborted you. She should have She should have flushed you. That's what she should have did. If you want to talk greasy, you want to talk about sex toys and all that, then you could go to the goo too. With your grandmama and the rest of them. Yeah, but if you do, see the problem is, so there's a couple of guys that the conscious people, they immortalize them, right? One of them is dead for sure. The other one, they're not sure. They don't know what happened to him, right? And both of them was talking crazy about how they was having threesomes with some ORISHA. Let me say this. If you knew what your destiny was, 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna you ain't gonna walk to it. See, and I say that because the fact that I'm even here wasting my time on this right now is a testament to my love for my tradition, right? Because that's something that they told me that I would be doing. And I had to necessarily submit and comply to my destiny. I'm real sure what I came here to do. I do it every day. It's like walking and chewing gum for me. So, you know, when people say, well, I want to find out what my destiny is, I'm like, you sure? Because if your destiny was to just be mundane and just be regular and just be here to support somebody else, would you comply to that? Would you comply with the information that you're not the guy? That you're here to support the guy? Or that you might not even meet the guy, but you're here to lay down some track work for him? Would you comply to that destiny? See, because a lot of the stuff that goes on with the spiritualism, a lot of it, the thing that is most corruptive to all of this is the imagination. The imagination. Like, exactly. But not even that. Who got the real minerals to be Judas? Who got the real minerals to be Judas? Who got the real minerals to put things in the place that everybody else ain't gonna like but are necessary? So like I said, you might not even recognize your prophets. Especially all of the quote unquote. So like, I see a picture of Che Guevara on the shirt. I see a picture of Malcolm X on the shirt. I see a picture of Huey P. Newton. I see a picture of all of them, but ain't none of them put in more work than C. Ferguson. None of them. Ain't none of them got to it like he did. He got on the train and got to it. But you don't wear his face on the shirt. You say he crazy. But he had the minerals when it was all said and done. Right? So you know, who's to say, you want to be a martyr, but who gonna remember you? Like I said, Steve Ferguson got on the train, got Bucky. He was clear about that. He knew he wasn't coming home that day. I'm gonna get Bucky with them. You know what? I had enough. So all the other people that you got on the pictures, they ain't never got into a squabble with a motherfucker. They ain't never got into a squabble. You ain't no footage of Malcolm putting hands and feet on nobody, or Che Guevara putting hands and feet on nobody. None of that. He got the suit on. He got the fatigues on. But C. Ferguson was like, yo, they fired me after all the time I worked there. Oh, word. I'm just a dusty black. All right, watch this. And he got Bucky.
And then he defended himself.
And then he defended himself and had the nerve to tell the pilgrim, "Are you sure it was me? How could you tell if you was hiding under the chair?" Right? But you deem him crazy. And so right now he having a hell of a time in the can because don't nobody respect him. They not exalting him to a place where he got his own cell and he's sitting there, he cool, and they're like, yo, just let him live his life out because he made the sacrifice. We don't do that. So this is why I can't take none of it seriously. I can't take none of the RBG seriously. I can't take none of it seriously because I grew up listening to this rhetoric. And then I go on YouTube and I look and I see they got Germans in Mexico, and Venezuela, and all that. They playing the bata, the kids playing. But black people over here having a drum circle. What does it mean to make ultra for a man? It means for in this time, if you're making ultra, you're not making ultra for yourself or your wife, you're making ultra for your children. Anybody that wants to involve themselves in any of this tradition, if it's not for the benefit of your children, then you're wasting your time. You're just looking for the answers to life, and you want to be the quasar in the middle of the universe and know everything. And so, you making Kadiocha, making the initiative to be a part of it. And like I said, I don't even count all of that Club Shay Shay business because it's not constructive for you to have a regular life. It's not constructive for you to go and have to deal with corporate America every day. The LUCUMI system was constructed for you to have a job and be able to pay your bills and still worship God and worship your ancestors. And you get together with your Ultra family on the weekends and somebody is receiving something or they're doing something. And every time there's an Ultra anniversary, this is Susu economics. I come to your house, I put a couple of dollars in the hickory, and I get some food and I eat and I get some fruit and we talk and we chop it up, we network. And then next week, go to somebody else's house, right? But I can't get niggas to agree on two things, peanut butter or the jelly. The question becomes, what do you want in life? Because everybody's chasing generational wealth. What? What does that mean? Yo, so you know what generational wealth we already had? It was in the South when our grandparents and them left that land to us that we just left there to just sitting around. That's where the generational wealth is. You goddamn slaves is crazy. Talking about generational wealth. We gotta build generational wealth. You got land down south. And every year, the pilgrims take more and more of it. They be like, oh, you know, some property taxes, we're going to take a little bit more of this land. That's where your generational wealth is at. And that's where it's always been. Making an example. If the people in your family don't do none of this, then you have to be the example to make sure that when you are adhering to these traditions that you bring yourself up. Absolutely. Because what happens is, so that, yes, we come from this tradition is made from slaves and from gangsters and all that, but absolutely, but the gangster is not the problem in our neighborhoods. The problem is the lack of morals and the lack of honor. See, so what happened is in the 80s, so this mentality that everybody's running with in every city, Absolutely. Not even breadcrumbs, leave foundation. If the next 3 generations grow up knowing who the Orishas are and knowing how to make sacrifice and do these things, then it becomes part of the culture and part of the tradition, and then it becomes embedded in the DNA. So that when I say these words to you, you don't understand them, but your DNA is absorbing these vibrations that when you give birth to children, those children will be able to hear those words and understand them the same way I do, because my mother heard these words before I was born. And so that those frequencies were already in her blood, so by the time that I was created, that I came out, I could understand those frequencies because they were already in the blood. So, exactly, because you have to, because this last generation, the reason why they are out of control is because they don't know who their ancestors are. You could go right now to Chicago and ask any one of them gangbangers, be like, yo, who's your great grandmother? And he'd be like, who? I don't know her name. You don't know where she came from. You have no idea. We from Chicago. You don't know where your people came from. Have no idea. And so all of those forgotten people that walk those marches and watch those people get lynched, all of that stuff that they went through, for you to now just pick up a gun and go shoot another nigga from another block that none of y'all own. Yeah, because the real deal is not about the Ocha, it's about the spiritualism. It's about first getting black people to understand that your ancestors are not ghosts and they're not here to scare you. This is not a horror movie. They are here to assist you. Now, how do you now begin to connect with them so that when you start to see those phantoms and those things that you're not spooked, that you're like, okay, there's somebody trying to tell me something, right? So that you take that narrative of the horror film with the pilgrims, and you take all of that other stuff out, and you start to reevaluate what was the real story. No, it wasn't to their detriment. What the detriment is the negation of the envy that created, right? So you understand that when in the Great Migration, those black folks that had the minerals to leave home, right, and go to the urban life, immediately they're being cursed by their counterparts in the South. Oh, he think he better than us because he live up there in the city. So this created the chasm between those people that will now the next generation that's born in the cities. When they come back down south, the South people are acting funny with them because they mob them and been talking about your family while you've been gone. So no, what happened was, the reason why the people left the South is because the lack of protection. So a black man could survive in the city than in the town, because when the white boys get bored, they just decide to start killing niggas, right? They get on some Emmett Till shit, start taking niggas out the house. So you get into a little thing with one of the white boys, they send you up north. But like I said, what happens is, what nobody talks about is the fact that the people in the South are very envious. And there's a bitterness that from slavery that is still left here, that they begin to start to brood on the people in the North. So like I could tell you even from my family, when they come down south, they be looking at us funny. Oh, y'all from New York City, huh? Like, I ain't got no saying that. I was born up there. What the fuck you talking about? Right? And so they begin to don't want you to return home. They don't want you to come back and get the land because they don't want to teach you the land. Feel me? So they be like, hating on us. And so this thing still exists today, even within Black American culture, within hip hop culture. This hate that the ATLians Atlanteans have for New Yorkers. They be like, I hate New Yorkers, and blah 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 blah. Right? Right, but what happened was they didn't tell people that they was down there fucking the money up. So you send money up down home, and niggas get the Western Union, but they ain't splitting it with everybody else. You know what I mean? And so I could tell you that my grandmother talk about how they did something to her children when she brought them down to the whatchamacallit. Yeah, what's up, man? Get these lights up so we can get some traction, so we could, you know what I mean? So we can get some commercials and shit, get some money. Yeah, exactly. Insecure mortals. Exactly. And so they get the drinking and they get the cursing the people up north. Right? And so they curse the north. And when they curse the north, what came about that? Crack. And they thought that was just going to be something that was going to be relegated just to the people of the north, but then they brought it down here, and they lost their morals down here. And so don't nobody have no morals anymore. And so it ain't about gangster, because vice is a part of the situation, it's a part of life, but it should not be on the radio and on the television for the children to see. It was always meant for after hours. Right? Well, then you just go ahead and die then. Go die on your own time. Don't come over here with your suicidal thoughts. Beat it. Debbie Downer. See anybody else just feel like they want to die? Yeah, go kill yourself then. Don't be a punk.
Unalive, unalive.
Unalive?
Yeah, unalive yourself.
Unalive yourself. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this new verbiage. This sounds very fascist. You know what I mean? We're not gonna say words. We're not gonna say what we mean now. What kind of innuendo? This is, and nobody's saying nothing about it. Everybody's just going along with it. I'm about to hold all the way live. Like, I'm about to stop Instagram altogether. Strict like that, because they are just out of control. They had something to say about me saying something about some chick that was talking crazy, but meanwhile, vagina and dimples are all on the site. Come on, man. Yeah, your guardian Orisha can always change all the way up to the moment of initiation. Yeah, with the Patreon, we about to I really just been slumming over this book that I got. I'm just waiting for my homegirl to, you know what I mean? You know, she got a life to live, and I ain't gave her no money, so I'm being patient, but I need her to edit this last bits of this book. You know what I mean? I'm about to get out of here, smoke a doobie-doo, so I can get up in the morning. Oh, did you took your mama to the party too? Go on, get that out of here, you bum ass nigga. No, the sci-fi book is actually finished. I'm just I got this other book in front of it that I gotta get off my table. It's a coffee table book, a storytelling book, and you know, be living life, and so sometimes I don't have the capital to, you know, to do the things that I need to do. That's why I rely on me breaking bread with y'all on here like this, chipping it up, and giving you some guidance so that you don't get caught with all the weirdos. You know what I mean? You know, and it's almost like the weirdos have taking advantage of these traditions that they just want to co-opt everything so they can be looking weird and stuff. You know what I mean? Now, but you know what I need? I need $500 so I can get this damn what you call it? This edited card so I can do this documentary. That's what I need. $500.
I thought you was talking about the VR.
No, wait, that's what I was. Yeah, you gotta go on Patreon. We got there's work. There be homework on the Patreon. And you know, my Patreon people really know who they are. My Ross Neasy, you know what I mean? And there's only a few, you know what I'm saying, that really stick with the Patreon. We'd be looking crazy. It'd be like 4 of us, like, yeah. But yeah, man. There is a consequence. You start talking all of that. You the king of Brujo and all that business. Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But yeah, man, it's been real. Rest in peace to the young brother that got killed out of Miami, the little rapping dude, La Tigre, whatever his name is. It's unfortunate, but you know, niggas get shot every day, B. Feel me? You be alright? Drink some tea. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know, I don't really be out here begging like, you know, like the doctor. That shit is, yo, man, like every day y'all should thank the Lord that I have, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't take y'all to do, you know what I'm saying, the political polite way. Feel me? They be selling these all kinds of bullshit. They be selling these fake books and all that. I ain't do that to you. I ain't got no fake fund. If I had a house fund, it would be for my godmother. I need 10 stacks right now. I could borrow my grandmother a house in Cuba real quick. Feel me? But yeah, man. Omidina Productions, you know how we do. It's a Patty Key Theater. I got some content coming. Like I said, man, we need some donations if you feel like you want to be a, you know what I mean, angel investor and some, you know what I mean? We got what you call it? We got tax receipts for you and all that. I promise you. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna have some tax receipts for you if you donate to the thing. We're gonna buy my godmother this house, and then we're gonna really get the thing cooking out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the new thing is we start having some prayer hours and shit like that. We're gonna sit down and do some prayers and pray for the sick, and you know what I mean? Pray for the people that we can't touch physically and all that. We're gonna send them some light, peace, and progress. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do different. I'm gonna do different things. We're gonna send prayers out to those who are incarcerated, those in the hospitals. You know what I mean? Those suffering from mental illness and things like that. To the poor. You feel me? You know what I mean? You hit the Cash App, the Slaughter with Love. And that's what we're doing. We're not even gonna be out here arguing with these nerds, these dweebs, right? These dweebs. We're not gonna argue with these dweebs. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look good. So yeah, man, look out for Omidina Production, like I said, man. And even if you didn't send them money, send some positive vibes our way. Send them, you know what I mean? Send them the open the way for the money and the rich, you know what I'm saying, investor to come. You heard? Exactly. And listen, anybody that's up here that follows, we are divorcing ourselves of beef and haters and ops. I am 40-something years old. I don't have no beef with nobody. You know what I mean? I don't have no beef with nobody. Everything is all whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? Just don't do it in my kitchen. You know what I mean? So, like peace and progress to all of them, you know what I'm saying, spirits that assisted us, that made us all have a decent day, that we not, you know what I mean, in the hospital, in the jail, and all that other bad stuff. So, I'm gonna bid y'all farewell, and we out.